I'm a bird, mother. I'm a bird.
No context, just pop it on screen.
Just no context. Just embrace it. No context. Most hated IRL streamer had a naked psychotic crash out. So I personally, from what I've seen, what Legal Mindset was posting, my personal thought is that I think he wants to plea for insanity, but it doesn't work the same way in Korea, the way it works in US.
The most hated IRL streamer on the planet has absolutely lost his mind running in his under.
Also, I heard he got officially banned from the last website he was able to stream on.
Ooh.
Underwear on the streets of Seoul and harassing everyday citizens. That stream was so bad that the only live streaming platform on the planet that hasn't banned him yet has finally decided to ban him. He now officially has 0 platforms to stream on and earn.
And for good reason and good riddance, honestly. Vile person.
Money on. But that's the least of his worries because he got.
But from what I remember, last time when all this originally started, he was asking his followers on Discord to send him money. So technically he still has options to get money from people who are supporting all this nonsense. I do believe that a lot of the people who are giving him money, they just want to see him crash out even more.
Arrested yet again after running around half naked on the street, and in just the last couple of days has broken over a dozen new laws. The guy wants the maximum prison sentence at this point. It's insane. But what the hell's happening, and how did we even get here? Well, let's talk about it. Johnny's story started on none other than Kick.com, unsurprisingly. He would travel to Japan in 2023 and would stream himself committing public nuisance crimes, harassing people on the metro, disrespecting every aspect of Japanese culture, and eventually sneaking onto a
Wait, he was also recently, he was trying to stream bomb another content creator, but the problem is, if he is shown on the other stream, that streamer can also get a temporary suspension too.
construction site, breaking multiple laws in the process and getting arrested. Japan wasn't really used to having cases like this, but eventually he did get around 1 month of prison time before being released and banned from ever coming back. People were hoping that this would traumatize him enough for him to stop, but no, he actually was only getting started. A few months later, he traveled yet again and got arrested by Israeli police for harassing a woman on the street. This only resulted in him.
He wasn't just harassing a woman. He was harassing a woman. She was either part of the army or part of the police. Like it was a disaster.
Spending time in jail overnight though, as he was released quickly and without consequences, emboldening him further. Months would pass yet again, and this time he would decide that his next destination of public nuisance was going to be South Korea. Just like in Japan, he was rude, he was loud, he was obnoxious, harassing people on the street, in public transport. He clearly had learned nothing from his previous 2 destinations. But the first crime he actually committed was obstruction of business in a 7-Eleven when he got some noodles and decided.
Just for additional context, before this, he was also in Japan and he was arrested there temporarily and put in jail temporarily, but they released him and deported him.
To spill them on purpose on one of the tables that you can eat on. This was while his speaker was very loudly playing his viewers' donations as he screamed and berated staff that was trying to make him stop. It was a very hard watch. But of course, knowing him, this was only the beginning. Shortly after, he would go to.
Wasn't he also imitating as if he's like punching or something as well?
Yes. Like when she turns around?
Yeah.
To a very important statue in Korean society.
And the statue thing, I think, was before the noodle shop. But I might be wrong.
It was after.
Okay.
And twerk on it, then kiss it. This is a statue that is meant to symbolize the women that suffered sexual abuse throughout World War II when Japan invaded. To say that this is disrespectful is an understatement. At this point, the South Korean authorities couldn't ignore this anymore, and they had scheduled a trial around the end of December 2024. He was finally going to face justice, but unfortunately, very shortly before the trial, they decided to delay it until March 7th, 2025. Many people were unhappy with the fact that he was going to spend 3 more months in South Korea wreaking havoc. But Legal Mindset, a lawyer that's been very closely following Johnny Somali's antics and reporting on them, said that the reason they would delay a trial by this long is because they had more charges planned. You see, Johnny was under the impression that he was only going to get charged for one thing, and that's obstruction of business. He was also carefree, thinking that if something bad did actually happen, he could just plead insanity. This would reduce his punishment.
Hold it.
Yeah, he really thought that's the same law applies over there. No.
I called it that he's trying to do the whole insanity plea. That's why he's trying to act super irrational right now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work the same way in South Korea as it works in US.
Punishment considerably and let him leave the country. Unfortunately for him though, he was absolutely delusional if he thought he was going to get out of this easily. March 7th, 2025 finally arrived and Legal Mindset actually attended the trial personally. Johnny had shown up an hour late, drunk, wearing an oversized suit belonging to his only friend in South Korea, Hank, and a MAGA hat. Now,
I don't understand how Hank can actually like represent him and be buddy-buddy with him. Is it for publicity? Is it infamy that he's going after? For people who don't know, this is a Legal Mindset. The person who's been covering all of it. And also the person who, after Johnny Salami did all that with the statues, him with the help of his community and his friends, he went and brought flowers to the statues.
Personally, I'm quite jealous of Legal Mindset because he got to see something up close and personal that many of us couldn't see because cameras weren't allowed in the trial. He got to see Johnny's smile go from this to this as the judge announced that there were going to be 3 additional charges added to his case. Instead of 1 count of obstruction of business, there were 2 counts. And additionally, there were also 2 violations of the Minor Crimes Act. He was completely blindsided by this, but surprisingly, he still pled guilty to every single charge. He was able to get more time though because Johnny's lawyer argued that they needed more time to prepare for these additional charges.
Yeah, and there was a video after the court hearing where Johnny was claiming, I already knew of this. We already prepared for it. We already knew of this. Like, I'm sorry, sir. You absolutely did not know any of this. He also admits to all his plans on stream that people record and submit for evidence against him. Exactly. I don't know if he's doing that intentional or if he's just that stupid.
So the trial got delayed by around a month and it'll happen on April 9th, 2025. But of course, Johnny just couldn't resist letting this trial end normally. As the courtroom was talking, he stuck his tongue out in a show of disrespect, and as he was leaving the courtroom, he proclaimed that South Korea is nothing more than a US vassal state.
Oh.
He's so dumb.
But here's the thing. Usually, if you're a person that has somewhat of a brain, you would maybe, I don't know, calm down until your next trial, especially after being surprised with 3 additional charges. That sounds reasonable, no? But we're dealing with Johnny Somali here. There's nothing reasonable about this person. His turning point would be on March 12th, a few days after that trial, when he proclaimed that he was the bastion of evil, that he was gonna die out with a bang for his fans, signaling that he
was saying stuff like, oh, you guys want to see a crash out? I will give you a crash out. Like, this is gonna be the biggest, greatest crash out ever.
Was about to escalate things even further. Additionally, it seemed like the streaming platform he was on loved him quite a bit, and they were known to offer very big deals for some streamers to stream there exclusively. He showed off on his Discord that he was negotiating with them for a deal that would pay him up to $10,000 a month just for streaming on their platform. So it seemed like he wasn't just about to do this for attention, he was also about to do this to get their approval and finalize the contract. This is when an opportunity would present itself. When Johnny used to be on Kick, he would stream with a bunch of other Kick streamers sometimes, traveling together. After his numerous controversies and the fact that he got banned off the platform, those same streamers would start avoiding him. You see, Kick isn't too different from Twitch. When you get banned from Kick and appear on someone else's stream, they risk getting banned for aiding your ban evasion. So even if they wanted to collab with him, they couldn't. Otherwise, they would get banned because he was banned from Kick. A couple of Kick streamers that Johnny was familiar with made their way to Seoul, and he saw this as the perfect opportunity to stalk their location and harass them while trying to get them banned. In his mind, this was going to be the kind of content that will make Party finally sign him by seeing his potential.
I've been here. Listen, I've been here to meet my friend homeless. Nana, remember we talked in Japan?
Oh, yeah. This is the clip I was referring to. He was basically trying to appear on her stream. I think it was actually 2 streamers. He was trying to appear on the stream to get their account suspended as well.
That's ridiculous.
That's like an actual issue that's been happening. And the most prominent and the first instance of that was when Poseidon got banned on Twitch. And anyone who had Poseidon appear in the background, they would get suspended.
Bro, it's not even in your control though.
In this case, yeah, it's not in your control. He was just literally stream bombing them.
Remember?
So obviously they were uncomfortable. They were going the other direction. They wanted to avoid him as much as possible, but he kept following them. But Johnny wasn't really getting the reaction he wanted, so he ended this by screaming the N-word, hard R, multiple
my
times,
God.
forcing
What?
these 2 streamers to mute or even end their stream so that they don't get banned on Kick for hate speech. Those 2 streamers immediately went to the police station afterwards
Good.
and filed a police report against him. One of those 2 streamers is a Japanese streamer by the name of Nana, and she said, "I didn't want to, but I had to sue Johnny Somali. No matter how many times I ran away, he just kept following me." According to Legal Mindset, this could add the charges of stalking and harassment to his upcoming trial on April 9th. The guy's
He's literally like gathering everything. It's like he's trying to get as many things as he can. Can we officially call him the collector?
collecting as many charges as he can like he's playing Pokemon or something. But that's not even close to everything he's done ever since proclaiming that he was the bastion of evil. After the police report was filed, he would go to a love hotel with his boyfriend Hank and start dancing.
This is the video. I'm so happy he's showing the video. That's what I was talking about. It just, I don't know why. It's just coming off so weird.
Happiness experienced by this loving couple wouldn't really last so long when Johnny realizes that a police report was just filed against him by those two kick streamers. So he asked Hank to call the police and try to dismiss his case. But since the guy isn't a lawyer and Johnny was actually in the wrong, it didn't go his way at all.
Oh, he's not a lawyer?
What?
I heard people saying that Hank is a lawyer. Holy hell. Just shows more don't trust anything you see.
안 되는 거 아니에요?
이게 우리가 사건 접수했다 무조건 처벌되는 게 아니라
네.
조사 받을 때
Why he not
증거도
speaking
따질
English?
거고
네.
그 행위에 대한 걸 다 따질 거니까 그때 본인이 유니소말리 본인이
네.
나는 억울하다 이런 적 없다고 소명하시고 그거에 대해서 증거를 못 찾으면
Can I talk to him? What is he saying? Tell me.
이해하시면 돼요.
알겠습니다. What is he
You know, this was a 2-minute call. The officer was as patient as he could be for someone like Johnny, even though he didn't deserve it at all. But yeah, Hank couldn't get it dismissed. If anything, he made it worse. But just as you thought that things
Yeah.
couldn't get worse,
Wait,
Johnny
what?
goes live brandishing a firearm, okay, which is illegal to do on a live.
What? What are you doing?
How can you be this stupid? Oh my god. I really think Somali doesn't think 2 steps ahead. I think he thinks in a negative 5 steps ahead. 5 steps behind. There you go.
What even bothers me is when he said, "Oh, why is he not speaking English?" Bro, you are in South Korea. What are you talking about?
Hank is just another streamer, I think. Okay. Ismail said his minor crimes is payable with a fine and still believes he will return to the US this year. I don't think the US wants him back. It would be very interesting to see what's gonna happen to him if he tries any of this in US.
Live stream. Now, thankfully, this gun isn't real, but replicas are also under very strict control from the South Korean authorities. So what he's doing here is still considered illegal and can also be an extra charge in his court case. While he was doing this, he was prank calling South Korean emergency services. So
What?
This dude genuinely, yeah, insanity plea, deportation, like emergency deportation. I'm surprised that US is not making a public statement saying that this is like a complete embarrassment, because the whole Johnny Somali thing is global news by this point. And it is portraying US in a very horrible light.
911, but in South Korea, potentially distracting them from saving lives. This dude belongs in a mental asylum. But that's not all that happened during.
I really hope like the charge for clogging up the emergency lines is gonna be pretty high.
During his multi-day crash out, he was so desperate to get that party deal that he was doing the dumbest things in public and getting away with it, like here.
Berto sent $10.
Seriously?
Bro.
I'm surprised no one like walked by and sucker punched him.
This guy just sits there, right? He wakes up in the morning and he's like, what's the most controversial thing I can do today, right? That's his whole life at this point. But what he did...
To be fair, there's a lot of content creators like that. Every single time they sleep or wake up or do anything, they just think, what's the most horrible, vile thing I can say or do? Including that dude who keeps on Omega calling like chicks.
Next was unexpected even for people who cover his antics all the time. He decided to do what he's always done, being a public nuisance, but this time while barely wearing anything and acting like a crazy person. Watch.
They want to charge me for doing twerking on the subway. I'm allowed to twerk in public.
He's eating good in South Korea, huh?
I guess so.
Boom, 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 boom. I want to hit right.
Hank is keeping him fed.
Let's
The hell?
What are you doing, bro?
Korea number one.
The hell?
Korea number one. Korea.
So why does he low-key look like a toddler?
That's what I was thinking. Like,
That meme of the toddler who smeared peanut butter all over him. He has the same dance as that toddler.
Korea number one. Call the police. Let's go.
The hell is wrong with him?
Boom, boom. I want you in my room.
Is he that desperate for money?
this dude is trying to think he's on mental issues. No.
Yeah, no, he's definitely trying the insanity plea.
Go.
So as you can see, not just being a public nuisance, being half naked, but also taunting the police, saying, call them. And even though it's not Christmas yet, Johnny got the wish that he wanted. He got arrested shortly after. He showed this off on his Discord, saying they got the whole station working, proud of the fact that he disrupted operations just for his case. Shortly afterwards, his friend or boyfriend, I'm not sure what their relationship.
Okay, Mujin is really confusing me now. I think Mujin is joking. I don't think Hank is actually his boyfriend, right? But like, Mujin is saying it with so much conviction without cracking a laugh that I am getting confused now.
Relationship is Hank showed up to translate for him and told the police that he's just like George Floyd, whatever that means. I mean, seriously, like, I wonder what their reaction was, because I wouldn't know how to react.
What?
It's ridiculous. He got interrogated by the police and illegally recorded the audio saying he's gonna sell it, really pushing the limits when it comes to the South Korean judicial system, because shortly afterwards he was released, showing that they're way too lenient on a nutcase like him. But don't worry, it wasn't as victorious as Johnny had hoped, because after his little stunt, Party decided to do the unthinkable in his eyes and suspend him. He is not going to be getting that $10,000 a month deal.
Shocker. Shocker that a streaming platform is not wanna sign him and give him a bag. He's unbanned. He's unbanned now. Okay, that's interesting.
Wow.
Party only had him banned for like 24 hours. Okay, so the Twitch approach.
And he doesn't have a streaming platform to stream on any longer. They were the only ones willing to put up with his bullshit, and he managed to ruin even that. Messages from the owners of Party actually leaked, and this is what they had to say about him. Man, lol, he's done for, huh? Don't be sad it's over, be happy it happened. He is done. Yeah, lol, should we delete the vid? Erase the evidence from the Korean feds, lol? Good idea, lol, we should. We don't want to, but we should. I know, right? Lol. If I ever get like this on stream, please stop me. Okay, lol. So it seems that they obviously found him entertaining and liked him, but they had to...
Wow. Oh, wow.
to get rid of his ass because they didn't want to get in trouble with...
I wonder how the platform is gonna do after this.
Wow.
South Korean law enforcement. I think part of the reason why he would do something like this is for attention, is to try and get that $10,000 a month deal from Party, but also because he's really hoping to be able to plead insanity in the upcoming case. But that's not really going to work. Alaric Node is another lawyer following this case.
Wait, now I'm curious. Where is Party based in? But why? Wait, why is it so hard to find this out? According to their LinkedIn profile, Party LLC is headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, US. But another source lists their headquarters as a Cayman Islands. Wait, Party is like some shady sus website, huh?
Party is more lawless than the website I stream at, because my streaming platform has made all IRL stream against TOS.
Damn.
Closely, and he argues that just in those last couple of days, ever since he stalked those kick streamers up until the point where he streamed half naked, he has broken multiple laws, including but not limited to act on special cases concerning the punishment of sexual crimes. That's for the stalking and harassment. Next up, we have the Information and Communications Network Act, because he created deepfakes of him kissing another female streamer without her consent. The same night he was brandishing the rifle on stream, he was also making prank calls to South Korean emergency services. That's another crime under obstruction of business. Showing off the gun is yet another crime. Act on the safety of management of guns, swords, and explosives, etc. And when he went out in public half naked, this classifies under public obscenity and disorderly conduct, as well as disturbing order. The officers, when they finally approached him, he refused to stop streaming or follow their orders. This is another violation, obstruction of the execution of official duties. Not to mention the fact that he recorded the interrogation, that's another crime as well.
So he literally wants to gather the whole alphabet of charges.
Johnny has always been a madman, but streaming half naked, calling for police to come and arrest him, and taunting them, that's just ridiculous at this point. All the lawyers following this, all the content creators reporting on this, including myself, hope that on April 9th, he'll be getting a reckoning that would stop anyone else from coming up with any of his ideas when
It's not gonna stop anyone. There's gonna be still so many nuisance content creators traveling all over the world to different countries and literally embarrassing the country they're from and humiliating themselves, their family, anyone who ever supported them. People are not gonna stop even once he gets a harsh punishment.
it comes to doing this in countries that they have the privilege of visiting. We'll see what happens. But for now, thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next video whenever that is. I love you so much. Mwah.
Great video.
Great video.
At least we finally caught up on this walking disaster. But yeah, like, people are not gonna stop. It's so unrealistic to say after everything we've seen how there's more and more content creators doing this. Because it garnishes them really quick notoriety.